Long time no see, folks. So, the last major thing we did was harvest the corn. And I am quite pleased with what we were able to do with it. It's the first time we grew it, and the fact that we were able to have enough for a few meals, I consider it a success. So we grew golden bantam, and this is how they turned out. About 6-inch long ears. They're not very fat, but that's okay. My understanding is heirlooms are typically not as big as hybrids, kind of like wild fruits. They're not as big as their cultivated cousins. So I wasn't expecting huge ears of corn, but I am pleased. I mean, they all plumped up and they're all pretty straight rows. They're nice and full. And as a bonus, so on average we got two ears per stalk, which apparently is pretty normal. But some of them even gave us a third ear, and they're so cute. They're these itty bitty little, like 4-inch ears of corn, and they're just so cute. So not bad. So when they say you don't have to pull your suckers, I'm gonna agree with that. There are a few things we want to change in the way that we grow in water. So we are gonna do this one more season and determine whether or not it's worth it for us to grow our own corn. Partially because we are surrounded by farms that grow corn and potatoes. Potatoes are just fun. So for me, it's a given. We're going to grow potatoes every year. Even though we'll never grow enough to last us all winter long, it's just fun to do. Corn, it's a little stressful, a lot more work intensive. But like I said, there's some changes that I'm going to make, but I'll talk about that in another day. So other than that, I mean, and cucumbers are still coming in. We're at about 20 pounds of cucumbers. Our germination rate wasn't that great, so I decided not to pickle any this year. I do want to try to pickle again because last year was an epic failure, but we've just been eating them fresh. It's a lot of cucumbers to eat, but cucumber sandwiches with a twist, and you'll go through tons of cucumbers. Let me show you. So other than that, it's just the waiting game for stuff to ripen and we can harvest. So while we've been waiting, we've been camping, having summer fun, and another part of this aspect, or this lifestyle that I'd like to do, I'd love to have a medicinal herb garden. But because I'm still learning how just to do the food side of things, I feel like trying to grow my own medicine right now would be way too overwhelming. So I decided, well, why don't we try to find stuff that's already growing in the yard that we could take advantage of. Learn to recognize it, how to use it, how to process it. And I was so excited. Oh my gosh, there's like 10 different medicinal plants growing in my yard right now. A few poisonous ones as well, but it's very exciting. And one that is in abundance and ready for harvesting was yarrow. And so we picked a whole bunch and dehydrated it, and I have it in my old yeast jars. I've got 3 of these, so I have 16 ounces of dried yarrow flowers and leaves for cold remedies. Do your own research, look into it. I did quite a bit of research on this, and I'm comfortable trying this out for a few different things. So that was very exciting, and I'll show you the other ones that we found in the yard as well. talk about heartbreak. Now, like I said, we have been waiting for things to ripen. Tomatoes especially. That's the next big thing that we're waiting on. And so every day I'm looking and I'm looking and I see them starting to turn and you're all excited. And you see this beautiful crimson red of your first tomato. Let me tell you, nothing is more heartbreaking than to find this. So, turns out we have an issue with blossom end rot, which I didn't know that was the problem at first, because this issue has also been affecting our green ones. I at first thought, see, here's another one. It's just terrible. I at first thought the rabbits were getting to them and they were eating off the ends of the tomatoes, but so I blocked off the fence, because there is a part of the fence that has big squares in it and they could easily get through. So I blocked that off, thinking that would solve the problem. Well, here's a tomato that a rabbit got to. Okay? Also, blossom end rot. So I was frantic. Absolutely frantic. I didn't know what to do. It's too late. Everything I looked up says, oh, the best way to treat it is to prevent it. Well, it's too late. It's attacking my green tomatoes. It's attacking the red tomatoes. But not with the slicing variety, which are in a separate bed. So I'm assuming the issue is a calcium deficiency, because I do not have this problem with my peppers or the slicing tomatoes that are in the bed with the peppers. Although it's been a very, very wet summer, I've read that could cause the issue as well. I'm pretty sure it's the calcium deficiency. So, let me show you what I've done. In a frantic effort to save the tomatoes we have, I have picked them green. And I will leave them on the counter to ripen. So I know they will not taste as good, but I cannot let them all fall victim to blossom end rot. I cannot have nothing to show for all the work that we've done so far. So these are the ones I picked that were rotting. That is over 3 pounds worth of rotten tomatoes. And I have 30 pounds of green tomatoes here. And yes, that is a bowl of rabbit feet in the background. Just ignore it. And I had left, there are quite a few tomatoes left on the plant still, in hopes that they will get a little bit bigger and I can pick them at least at this size before the blossom end rot gets them. So, fingers crossed. Wish me luck. And until next time, hope your garden's doing better than my tomatoes.